The New King of Atlanta, Part 2. Zane had been in Atlanta for a couple of weeks now, but sitting at the dinner table with Uncle Malcolm's family still felt a bit strange. Everyone was so proper and organized, with conversations about business, politics, and private school gossip. Zane was more used to his mom's laid back fun dinners back in Miami. He didn't quite feel like he fit in here yet. After Zane's big performance on the basketball court, Coach Jenkins, the head of the school's basketball team, approached him. "You've got real talent, Zane," the coach said. "We could use a player like you on the team." This was the break Zane needed to prove himself in Atlanta. But there was just one problem: Marcus. The team's current star player wasn't about to give up his spot without a fight. Zane and Marcus clashed almost immediately. On the basketball court, their competitive nature boiled over, and it was clear that Marcus saw Zane as a threat. "You think you can just come in here and take over," Marcus said after practice one day. Zane didn't want to start trouble, but he also wasn't going to back down. He knew he had to prove himself both to the team and to himself. Despite the tension with Marcus, Zane found an unexpected ally in Jada, a girl from his class who was also the school's top student. Jada wasn't interested in the drama between Marcus and Zane. She liked that Zane was different from the rest of the kids at the school. "You're not like them," Jada said one day after class. "You don't care about fitting in, and that's cool." Zane appreciated her honesty, and the two quickly became friends. While Zane was making strides at school, things at home with Uncle Malcolm were more complicated. Uncle Malcolm had high expectations for Zane and wanted him to focus on academics, not just basketball. "I didn't bring you here to play games, Zane," Uncle Malcolm reminded him. "You've got a future to think about." Zane felt the pressure building. He didn't want to let his family down, but basketball was his passion. The day of the first basketball game finally arrived, and Zane was nervous. Coach Jenkins had put him on the starting lineup, which only made Marcus even angrier. The gym was packed with students, and the energy was electric. Zane knew he had to perform, not just for the team, but for his own self-confidence. As the whistle blew, Zane locked eyes with Marcus. It was game time. The game was intense, with Zane and Marcus constantly battling for control of the ball. Every time Zane made a great play, Marcus seemed to up the ante. The tension was obvious to everyone watching. But instead of tearing the team apart, their rivalry actually pushed them to play harder. By the end of the game, they had managed to lead the team to victory. However, off the court, things were still far from settled. After the game, Marcus confronted Zane in the locker room. "Don't think this changes anything," Marcus said, his voice low and menacing. "You might have helped us win, but you're still not one of us." Zane didn't know why Marcus was so determined to push him out, but he knew he couldn't let Marcus get in his head. He was here to stay, whether Marcus likes it or not. Later that night, Zane had a long talk with his cousin, Malcolm Jr. They hadn't bonded much since Zane's arrival, but Malcolm Jr. had been watching everything unfold. "You don't have to prove anything to anyone," Malcolm Jr. told Zane. "Just do you. This place can change you if you let it, but don't lose yourself in trying to fit in." Those words stuck with Zane. He realized that part of his struggle was feeling like he had to be someone else in this new world. The next day, Zane decided to approach Marcus before practice. Look, I'm not here to take your place, Zane said. I just want to play ball and be part of the team. Marcus didn't say much, but there was a flicker of understanding in his eyes. Maybe, just maybe, they would find a way to coexist. Zane knew it would take time, but for the first time, he felt like he was on the right path.